So this was from a couple days ago. This is Fernando Tatis Jr. for the Padres. This is the top of the 8th inning. They're up 7 runs, bases loaded, it's a 3-0 count. So this got a lot of heat in the media. So I'll let this play, then we'll talk about it.
Chabot is up in the pen right now. This is in the air to right field. Back it goes. Nendo has done it again. Fernando Tatis Jr., a grand slam.
So Fernando Tatis hits this grand slam, okay? 3-0 count, 7-0, whatever, it doesn't matter. The Rangers manager, this young fella right here, came out and he was pissed. And he was saying that, Fernando Tatis broke a unwritten rule of baseball. And then the Padres manager came out and said that he agreed that Fernando Tatis blew through a take sign, and it's a bad look. This is baseball being baseball to the highest degree. This is so stupid. Fernando Tatis is probably the best young player in the game. Right now, he's the MVP of the league. I mean, he's having an incredible season. But he is a young, fun, flashy player who loves playing the game and should be one of the faces of baseball. And baseball has this unwritten rule that makes it where he shouldn't have done this. Like, baseball can't get out of their own way. It's so embarrassing. Now, let's talk about the actual rule. So when I played baseball, 3-0, the count, that was a count to take because in my opinion, it was like, okay, well, I'm going to make the pitcher throw me a strike because if he throws a ball, I'm getting a free base, But it wasn't I'm being a good sport and letting the pitcher throw a ball and to try and like get back into the at bat or something. It was never about me being a good sport. It was always about me trying to get a walk. I don't think I ever swung on 3-0, but I know people who did. If it was like a belt high fastball, they'd swing on 3-0, didn't matter. And then the idea that they're up 7 runs, so he shouldn't be doing this. This kind of stuff really confuses me because if that's the case, call the game. If that's the case, if the Rangers manager thought the game was that far out to where Tatis should not have been doing this, and the Padres manager thought the game was that far out, the manager should be able to say, hey, man, go ahead and end it. We forfeit. And then they should say, okay, sure, done. But you should, if you're playing the game, these are professional athletes who are getting paid millions of dollars to play this baseball game. There's no fans. You're already asking them to play, this weird version of the game with no fans and all these crazy rules. And now you're going to tell them to slow up 7-0? Why? And what does that even mean? Is Tatis supposed to just go up to bat and watch pitches? Or is he supposed to swing not as hard? Or is he supposed to not run as hard? Like, what do you want these players to do? What is the unwritten rule? Is the unwritten rule, hey, man, we're up 7, so just get out so we can get out of this game? Are the Rangers then going to turn around in the bottom of the 8th and not try as hard? Because if you're asking the Padres to not try hard, then the Rangers shouldn't be able to. What if Tatis grounds into a double play here and the Rangers score 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th? All of a sudden it's 10-7. And it's not, 7 runs is not that crazy. So I just don't understand where the unwritten rule is coming from. I understand if you're up 50-0 in a football game, you don't want the quarterback dropping back and throwing bombs with 10 seconds left. That makes sense because it's like, hey, the game's over. End the game. You have an opportunity to end the game. The game is not over here. The game is out. It's a blowout, but it's not out. It's not over. 7 runs. Yeah, I mean, you don't see people come back from 7 runs a lot, but it's not unheard of. The Rangers are trying. And I guarantee you the Rangers will try in the bottom of the 8th and the bottom of the 9th. So I don't understand if the game is still going on, you cannot ask players in this situation to just quit. And if you do ask players to quit, just call the game. This makes no sense to me. The only part that makes sense to me is that it's a baseball thing and baseball does stupid stuff like this. Fernando Tatis had to apologize for hitting this grand slam, and he has apologized more than Jose Altuve or Alex Bregman for openly cheating. Like, when you think about Bregman and Altuve and the Astros and what they did and their punishment, and then Fernando Tatis being crucified because he's playing hard, it makes me not want to watch the game. It makes me want to just baseball's already just in such a bad spot for how they present their product and stuff like that. This is just so embarrassing.
This is in the air to right field. Back it goes. Nendo has done it again. Fernando Tatis Jr., a grand slam. And the Padres go on top 14-3.
Okay, so this is what the Padres manager said.
I think like the learning opportunity, and it probably starts with just picking up the sign. I think like the learning opportunity, and just so you know, a lot of our guys have green light, 3-0. But in this game in particular, we had a little bit of a comfortable lead, and we're not trying to run up the score or anything like that. And so, put on the take sign and probably see a strike right there.
If his manager wants to say, look, he's got to be better at picking up signs, sure, whatever. But the whole running up the score, dude, you're up 7-0. You're up 7 runs. You're not up 25. The game is still going on. And honestly, players can really get hurt if they play like half speed. If you're swinging half speed or running half speed or throwing half speed, that's when injuries can really happen. I want to see what the Rangers manager said, though. Because the Rangers manager, he was not a happy bunny. I'd be so mad if I was Tatis and my manager didn't protect me. I would want my manager to be like, look, he's a good player, flashy player. I love he's playing hard. It is what it is. There's a lot of unwritten rules that are constantly being challenged in today's game. I didn't like it personally. You're up by 7 in the 8th inning. It's typically not a good time to swing 3-0. It's kind of the way we are all raised in the game. But like I said, the norms are being challenged on a daily basis. So just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not right. Dude, get a grip. What a baby. I hate baseball purists, man. I hate the baseball purists. They what game are they protecting? What game are they protecting? That's what I don't get. Baseball is the most unpure game. It's riddled with steroids issues. The Astros have literally cheated their way to World Series. This isn't some beautiful game that they're protecting the unwritten rules. And you got some young kid who's playing in front of cardboard cutouts, and you're going to tell him to do... bro, there's no unwritten rules in this situation. It's ridiculous. Baseball is a sport that literally has people saying that stealing signs is part of the game and get more upset at this than someone stealing signs. Yeah, exactly. Why not run up the score? Baseball fans and people like that are normally the whole no participation trophy group. Yeah, I don't know. It just blows my mind. I just don't get it. I really don't. So dumb. And then they threw at Manny Machado the next at bat. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? That was their response. Like, hey man, it's unwritten rules. And then they're throwing behind the next batter. So dumb.